Hey guys, welcome to the Hustler Hotspot, a podcast by Hustler Marketing, where we discuss retention marketing strategies, e-commerce success stories, and everything in between.
Hey guys, today we are on the third episode of Hustler Hotspot, a podcast dedicated to email marketing, e-commerce, and everything in between. I'm Monica. I head marketing at Hustler Marketing. And today with me, we have a very special guest and a longtime partner of Hustler Marketing. We have Nick from mobile engagement platform Recart, who heads partnerships at Nick. And we're going to have a lot of interesting discussion around SMS marketing, how SMS has evolved, how else mobile can be used for retention and engagement, and a lot more. So stay tuned until the end, and we're going to have a lot of value-adding conversation and some fun. So without wasting any more time, let's get right into it. Nick, thank you so much for joining us today. Where are you joining from?
Thank you, Monica, for having me. I am calling from Irvine, California. It's about 40 minutes south of LA.
Right. So are you still working from home, or is your company based in California?
No, I'm still working from home. We have a few other employees out here, though, so okay. I get to see them sometimes. Yeah.
Nice. But I think Recart is based in Budapest.
Correct. Yeah, the product and engineering is in Budapest, and then a lot of the customer facing, like sales, customer success, marketing.
Okay.
It's out here. Yeah, in the US.
Yeah.
All around the US.
Oh, nice. So we are remote. As you might know, we we serve the US market mainly, but we are remote forever. So yes, I am at home, as are you. Anyway, so tell us, I know a little bit about you from our interactions, and we work closely together. But, for our audience, Nick, please tell us who you are, what's your background like, and what do you do currently at Recart?
Sure. So, and again, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. So, hey, everybody. My name is Nick Romaya. I am the head of partnerships over at Recart. I've been here for about 3 years running the partnerships team. Really passionate about e-commerce. Before that, I worked at a Shopify Plus brand. And before that, I had my own brand, which I ended up selling to get into college, actually. So I've been doing e-commerce for a long time, big fan. I started off on eBay when I was like 10 years old. And yeah, I think this is where I'm going to stay in this industry. So I'm just going to keep growing. From there, I think the only thing I'm missing is agency experience. But yeah, I got tech side, the brand side covered. And I'm just really excited about how this, the internet can connect purchasing decisions. I remember as a kid, I was like, I couldn't believe I could buy something online and then it just comes to you on your doorstep. So I just think from then, so much has grown and happened, but it's always gotten me excited and still gets me excited to this day.
Yeah. Exciting times, right? And e-commerce has been exciting for as long as I can remember. Like I have been personally in e-commerce for about 10 years. First time also at an agency for me as well. But the way the things change every year, it's like you're never bored or you're never saturated. Like, okay, you've done this way too many times. I don't think that happens in our industry, right? It's evolving so fast.
Exactly. No, you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah. And talking of evolving, our topic for today is going to be about evolution of SMS marketing, or how far SMS or mobile in general has come as a tool, as a vehicle to not only launch brands, but also towards customer retention. So we all know SMS marketing has been there forever. And Nick, I don't know how old you are. Let's not get into that. But I remember my earliest memories of SMS marketing were not very long ago. They were maybe 5-6 years ago when, brands would be like, hey, sale, buy. And it used to be like a blast, right? We have a sale here, come to our store. So tell us from that kind of SMS marketing to what we have now, what's the landscape looking like?
Yeah, great question. So I think back then it was a lot of testing and seeing how customers reacted. With any new channel, it takes time to adapt. A good example of that is TikTok. TikTok last few years it's been out, but really a lot of agencies and businesses and kind of flourished in the last year, year and a half on the marketing end of it, right? So, but before it became that level, it was kind of the Wild West, and that's similar to SMS, how it was a few 6 years ago. It was just companies barely getting started. I mean, Klaviyo didn't even launch SMS yet. Attentive didn't even launch yet. Those both started in 2017. So a lot of it was just kind of Wild West, as I said earlier, and also just testing, because this platform is messaging you in a very personal space that consumers at the time were not used to. Now, if we look, I'm getting messages from Chase, United, all the major airline companies. You walk into Calvin Klein or Ralph Lauren, there's in the store, it'll say text to receive 15% off in store. I mean, it's becoming more and more commonplace, even with big corporations. And if big corporations are doing it and doing it successfully, they have a lot of money to test and see if something's right or wrong, right? Then why don't the e-commerce businesses that we work with at least start to implement it? All you have to do to implement it is to get that somewhere to get the phone number, right? So it's a very easy way to start, but it shows that there's a lot of success and growth and a giant platform that you can. So we're way past the testing years, is my point. Is a thing, and big companies are adopting it. So like, if you have your own business, why don't you adopt it, right? I think that's kind of one of my biggest things right now, that people don't understand, because people are very biased towards their own opinions, so they don't like receiving texts themselves from businesses. So because of that, they don't want to implement that on their business. But to be honest, I don't really like getting texts from businesses all the time either, unless I want to hear from them. I'm subscribed to a few, but there's a healthy dose, right? But at the end of the day, it works. It just works. The numbers that we see are off the charts. I'm sure you've seen it.
Yeah.
From a sales perspective, retention, communication perspective, it just works. So do not get pigeonholed by smart business decision, in my opinion. I answered for way too long, but
I mean, it can be
there's the answer.
Absolutely. Like it can be interpreted, and it can be explained in so many different ways about how it's evolved. Of course, consent is very important. I think what's also changed is back in the day, the advertisers really didn't care whether you wanted to receive the communication or no. And if they had your number, they just sort of assume that you're open to receiving marketing communication. And I think that's changed. These days, advertisers really do care about a buy-in. And I think for the US, that's a mandate, a statutory mandate. But like for a lot of other countries that have sort of, vague legislation around it, it can be a little tricky, right? How much is too much? And if just by virtue of having your customer's number, is it okay to send them an email, an SMS campaign? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it depends. So just how email operates, everyone gets like a welcome flow when they put in their email. The same thing should be with SMS. You introduce your customer to the platform, introduce your customer to that channel. And then as the customer behaves, maybe you see that they have abandoned carts or browse abandonments, or they made a purchase, or didn't make a purchase. I mean, then start to target them specifically for that. Of course, if they log in, if they give you their phone number a few days before Labor Day, it's probably inevitable that they're going to get a follow-up blast on Labor Day about a sale. And I think that's fine. Big sales, customers expect to get messages, big holidays, customers expect to get messages from brands that they subscribe to. But beyond that, it's really about understanding your customer and sending specific messaging to that customer. Not every customer deserves the same messaging. A customer that's bought maybe 10 times from SMS marketing, which, we can, for example, Recart, do a filter there and send a specific message to someone like that. deserves a different message than someone who just subbed, as I said yesterday. So it's very important to understand that, because you don't want people to unsubscribe, right? You want to create this, I actually want to receive these messages and read them every day. So it's important to create some kind of natural communication and not spam, because unfortunately there is a lot of spamming that's still happening. And I think the best practices around SMS are still, we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg. But creating as much of a two-way street as possible is key to get long-term subscriptions and long-term buy-in, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, I think the format of SMS has changed so much, right? Like, from what I remember, SMS was very constricted by like the number of characters. You could do only like 160 characters. So then the whole SMS language was about trying to cram in as much as you could in that 160 characters. But now SMS is virtually free without any restrictions on like length too much. And in the US, you have the option of MMS, which in my country, we don't have MMS, and it's not even popular. So that opens your world to a whole lot of possibilities, right? Like, I have seen SMS campaigns we do for our clients, and it's only like a watered down version of an email, but it has like great copywriting. It has like all these interesting GIFs and other images. So yeah, you think the change in the template and the format of the SMS has contributed to its evolution?
Yeah, no, I definitely do, and I think you hit the nail on the head there. Yeah, it's so important to have that consent. I think one of the other tricky things that people don't understand, and I think this is pretty important, is that you can't buy an SMS list off the street like you can buy an email list off the street. And I think that's what scares people into getting started. But really, it's simple. Just have a consent form, and every single text message goes through the AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, you name it. But as long as you have that explicit consent and some kind of legal copy, I accept to giving my phone number and receiving marketing communication, or some kind of box where someone can check that when they add their phone number. That's all you need. So it's not that scary as long as you have that. But it is very important to have that step, because if you don't have that, then it can lead to some issues with some of the carriers, for example, long term.
Yeah. Do you think that happens? Do you think there's a fine line that some advertisers end up crossing?
Yeah.
I've heard of CAN spam laws, and then in Europe there's GDPR, but how strict are they in enforcing these?
Yeah, so it's the spamming isn't really getting enforced. We have customers that send every single day. I will say that is not best practice. So sending every single day is not good. We recommend 5 to 8 times a month max, and that scale varies depending on your audience. So that's just more of a general thing. But it is, sorry. What was the question? We're gonna have to edit that one out. the spam.
Offend this rule? Do they violate this rule quite a lot? That they
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
sorry, yeah. So there is no laws around sending every single day. We don't think that's a good idea. Sending 5 to 8 times a month is recommended. So there's no laws around like sending. You can actually send even multiple times a day if you like. But again, you're going to get a big opt-out rate. What is getting enforced is how you got those phone numbers if someone is looking. So to be honest, if you do buy a list off the street, you can send messages to them. It's just that there are law firms and legal companies that go around and ask you, hey, did you get any messages, texts from companies that you didn't consent to? And then if someone says yes and then decides to take legal action, that's where the issues happen. I've seen this multiple times with accounts, not at Recart, but at other companies, with people getting lawsuits from different providers or different customers because they didn't consent to receiving the message. But again, it's not that scary as long as you have a pop-up, and email is amazing. We're not saying take away email, but everyone has an email capture, I mean, on most sites. And if you just have that email capture and then you press next instead of submit, next taking you to that 2-step pop-up instead of 1-step pop-up, and then give them the option to add their phone number. And then there you have that consent legal jargon. That's all it takes. And that you avoid everything. You avoid all the issues if you just do that. So it's very simple. Just don't buy a list off the street and you should be fine. And you can have a very flourishing, good SMS list, and you can send as much as you want.
It will also give you better quality marketing, right? The responses are going to be better if somebody has opted in rather than them being subjected to an unsolicited SMS. So
Exactly.
definitely it's a best practice. And even for email, we advise all our customers that yes, you can buy a list, you can import it from elsewhere, but the quality of email marketing is not defined by like the number as much as it's about how how much have they leaned into your marketing knowingly, and that makes all the difference, right? You can have 1,000 people who opted in, or you can have 5,000, 50,000 people who have not, and I think the results are going to be better from those 1,000. So
exactly.
E-commerce stores watching this, quality over quantity, and as Nick said, maximum 8 cents a month, which means like try to do 2 cents a week. Also more than that would really like law of marginal utility also kind of plays here. The more somebody sees your messages, the more they're gonna like start sort of like being immune to anything you have to say. So you have to like say it very selectively. And the one thing I think in SMS that's really important is because you have such a you have such a small space rather to make an impact, then you have to really weigh what you're saying. Like an email, you can be a little more, you can take liberty with the length, the pictures, but with SMS, every word, every line has to weigh, weigh strongly. It has to have substance, which is why I think, contrary to popular opinion that SMS is easy, it's actually not, because you have to be very thoughtful about that one SMS you're sending every 3 to 4 days, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's key to take advantage, and you said it again perfectly. There's a reason why it's 90 to 100% open rates. It's because you're getting a text where you look and you say, oh, I got a text message. I associate that text message with receiving a message from a friend or family, right? It's a very personal space. But now what's happening is that we're getting used to receiving them from businesses. And that's becoming more and more common. So we do not want to push that to the point where it's like, oh, I got a text, it's another silly brand messaging me. That's where SMS will ultimately fail. So it's very important for all of us to not spam our customers, drip it in, create meaningful messages. Don't just focus on sales here. Educate your customers. Selling through education is key, and even asking questions. SMS is a two-way street, so I think that's very important, and it's a personal two-way street. We can send messages directly to them outside of automations and flows and campaigns. So I think that's really cool too. And I think we're on that side just seeing the tip of the iceberg. I think that has a long way to go in terms of personalized communication, one-to-one communication.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned two-way SMS, because I think what we're seeing internally also, and actually I wrote about it the other day, it's about conversational SMS now. So from like a one-to-many, a broadcast kind of SMS, now we're moving into more personalized, more conversational, where we ask them, right? People think that, okay, they can't respond to an SMS, but no. Thanks to tech platforms like yourself, like Recart, and even some others, now you have the technology to back it up, right? Like you can, if somebody comes to the site, other than collecting your phone number, they can ask, are you a male or female? And then you can type a short code, and based on that, you will get, the personalized SMS. So what are some other use cases that you've seen of that? And is that what you mean when you say conversational or two-way SMS?
Yes, exactly. We're in sync here. It's honestly, the use cases are still piling up for us. We have some pretty awesome ones though, where we're asking customers, how was your purchase? Asking questions. Is there anything we can do to help today? Maybe they saw, for example, they went on, they put in their phone number, they got a browse abandoned cart. 2 days passed from the browse abandoned cart after they put in their phone number, and then we send them a message saying, hey, this is some employee at some company. So let's just say Nick. This is Nick here over at rugs.com. Like, is there any rugs that you need help choosing? Can I help you with anything? And it sounds like a human, and it is a human. Well, that part's an automation, but if you respond, a human is going to be on the other end, actually helping you to find that rug, whether that's an employee at the tech company or the employee at the merchant themselves, or someone at an agency. It's available for everyone. It's on the platform, so you can actually engage and talk to that customer and help them. And I've seen that happen a few times with our platform. And the engagement there is crazy because customers can see that this is a pretty personalized message. You can tell if something is directed kind of like at you as opposed to something a little more automation. Even though that is an automation, right? It's disguised as something a little bit more personal. And about 9 out of 10, at least with the use case that we have with this company that we do this flow with, 9 out of 10 of those messages to people that reply, can we help you with the purchase, coming from someone at that company, end up purchasing. It's a crazy high retention rate for sales.
10?
Yeah, it's insane. And
rate, yeah?
If they reply to that automation saying they need help finding,
that's
where
great.
where a human comes in.
Yeah, who would have thought? Who would have thought? Like, you think that, okay, you're gonna just send a message and it's gonna be ignored, but never assume things about your audience. Is one thing that I learned in marketing is every audience is different, and what works for you personally may not work for them, and vice versa. So yeah, just test.
Exactly.
Line of thinking right there. Talking of sophistication in SMS now, like earlier I spoke about how SMS used to be like sending an email blast to all your customers with like informing them about the sale or mostly like transactional details, like, okay, your order's placed and we'll reach you and all. How do you think from those two basic 2-3 SMS now, how far we've come? Like, I work in email marketing. Our agency mostly works in email, but we also work in SMS, and we know for a fact that it's not just like, it's not like this, willy-nilly sending one SMS there, one email there. It's the whole journey. We really cover the entire customer lifetime from the time they visit your website till the time they basically know more. So, talking of SMS or maybe mobile in particular, how do you think where mobile comes in that customer journey?
Yeah, no, this is a great question. So a lot of people think about the welcome flow. And then after that, we have browse abandonment and cart abandon to remind them. And you'd be surprised how many people don't have that turned on. But that's very key, 90% open rate reminder. We live in this world where we get 350 notifications a day on average per consumer. And it's dizzying. Maybe I did truly have the intent to purchase on your website, but I forgot. So I think that's just an awesome way how SMS can just bring you back to something, because you're going to see that message. And again, most people coming to your website don't purchase. So if I truly had the intent to purchase and I needed a reminder, I think that's an awesome way. Once they purchase, for example, if they continue on that journey, we can follow up with them with tracking notification, fulfillment notification, delivery notification, and the click-through rates on those are crazy. People on average check 3 times where their package is, and it's crazy to see the click-through rates on like the tracking notification automation that we send out. People want to know where the package is. They're very antsy. I think Amazon ruined that for everybody. They need immediate ship times, but that's good because it's funny when I see some automations like that, there's sales associated to it. So some customers are actually clicking on that tracking link seeing their package and then going back to the website and making another purchase even before their first purchase came, which I think is interesting. It's just because it gets you thinking about the product. And then of course, after that, after the first experience of their purchase and how SMS guided them through that, we can re-engage them with campaigns, with messages, with segmentation. You guys are amazing at email. The emails that you do, I'm sure you have some one-to-many approaches, but a lot of the very successful sales-oriented ones, I'm sure are very catered, custom to specific audiences. We've been talking about how personalization is very key. So have that personalization with SMS as well. When you send campaigns, we can segment customers, our VIP customers, for example, customers that have spent over $500 with us. Let's send them something very specific. Let's let them know that there are VIP customers in the text, for example, and let them know that this is an exclusive text that they're only receiving because they've spent $500 with us, right? That's one example. Or maybe someone clicked on a, July 4th, probably one of the more recent last holidays. Someone clicked on a sale link on July 4th. We saw they had a browse abandonment and they've been looking at this product. So there's quite a few people in that bucket. Let's target them on a separate message the week after, just those people who clicked that link and didn't make a purchase, because we know that there's some intent there. There's some interest. They clicked the link and they started browsing. So exactly how email has so many years of behaving with segmentation and best practices, SMS is ramping up to that. Unfortunately, not everyone is taking this custom approach that I just kind of explained a little bit. But for the companies that are doing it, as we just said, also with that rugs example, it's amazing to see the numbers, truly. The ROIs from the one-to-many to a lot more custom targeted audiences, it blows it out of the water. I mean, it's not even close. Anywhere from like 8 to 15x to the one-to-the-manys, 20x, 30x as well. But I've seen upwards of 400x on some of the custom ones. It's just really amazing what you can do if you really niche down your messaging to the right customer in SMS.
Yeah, that's an important point. Like build your customer journey, and each step of the way, you do need your email, but you also need your SMS. And very interestingly, you also, I think Recart is the pioneer or the only tech platform that also works with Facebook Messenger. And that's how I know of you guys, actually, that the FB Messenger guys. So I always thought, like, what Klaviyo is for email, you guys are for FB Messenger. How does that work? I've always been very curious about it, and yes, I have received marketing email messages on my FB, and I always wondered, how does that work?
Yeah, great question. So it operates almost exactly like SMS. In the sense, or email, in the sense that you capture some piece of their information and then you can retarget them. So instead of emails and phone numbers, we're capturing what's called Facebook PSIDs. To subscribe to a customer's Facebook PSID, to give your Facebook PSID to a brand, you have to send some kind of message to them in a Facebook Messenger chat. So some kind of engagement from your end to that brand within a Facebook Messenger chat is how you give your Facebook PSID. So how do you get a customer to a chat with a brand? Usually a pop-up. It could be a giveaway on a Facebook page, and then you comment in a description on the post, and then that brand will send you a message asking you for your email and phone number to enter into the giveaway. But it's on Facebook Messenger, so any engagement you do subscribes you. We have a lot of pop-ups that take you from the website to Facebook Messenger. Opt in, educate, and flow there, because Facebook Messenger goes over Wi-Fi. You can send videos, photos, audio, I mean, you name it, and it's all, quote unquote free, obviously, besides the platform. But it's not like SMS where every message you send costs money. So customers take advantage of videos there, or some more lengthy qualification and flows. They take advantage of it there. But anyways, once you get the opt-in, then you can start retargeting them. The only issue is that you can only do it for a year. So once you have a Facebook PSID, you basically have a year timer until they unsubscribe automatically from Facebook. So Facebook does that for you automatically. So you don't truly own the channel like you do email and phone numbers. You can take those lists and, they're with you forever until they unsubscribe. Facebook is a year timer. And then once they unsubscribe, then you can't re-message them again. If you message them though, and they send another message, that reactivates the 1 year timer.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, this sounds like a good add-on, but I'm not very hopeful that it works as well as SMS or email. I think it's a good add-on to have.
Exactly. It's
just
not,
to make sure that you got them everywhere.
Exactly. Yeah. Unfortunately, in the States, SMS is more popular.
And
Messenger is actually very popular. Yeah. Sorry.
No, I was just saying that, I've noticed and also heard reports that Facebook is becoming like less. I think the growth rate is going down and like it's becoming less popular amongst the Gen Z. So do you have like this equivalent on Instagram, which I would say is the more popular social media platform from Meta right now?
Yeah, and WhatsApp as well. And no, so you do not have that functionality on Instagram and WhatsApp, despite it being basically the same company and platform. Zuckerberg did just announce that they're going to do a heavy WhatsApp messaging push, and it's going to be the future of messaging and all of this and all that. And we'll see, because he said the same thing about Messenger. Unfortunately, as you said, Facebook is on the decline a bit, not only from a usage standpoint, but also from a B2B standpoint. They're a consumer company. So Messenger ultimately wasn't attended to in the best way. We would always find issues and report them to Facebook, and they would take weeks to fix something. It was pretty ridiculous. So at the end of the day, you don't own the Facebook page. It is great for qualification and education-based brands, but as you said, there's other better channels out there. It's a nice add-on, but it should just be viewed as that until the tech gets better at Facebook.
Money on anything Facebook, to be honest. Like, let's not get into their customer service. So yeah, I have my healthy suspicions about everything to do with Meta, but that's a different topic. Talking of Meta, in India where I am right now, WhatsApp is really big. More than SMS, I think, because all the brands that I've been testing and in my research for e-commerce, they send lots of WhatsApp, like your cart abandonment, browse abandonment, even campaigns at times. I receive them on WhatsApp, and honestly, I'm very impressed, because they have like this reply. They have like this interface like thing where you can reply with a code, and then they send you that exact link to pay or something. For example, like cart abandonment, they'll say, would you like to proceed with your purchase? And they give you two options, yes, no. You click on the no button, and immediately they send you a link which goes to that particular page. So I was honestly very blown. I don't know why WhatsApp is not as popular in US as it's in India and some other countries. What do you think of that? Do you use WhatsApp? Do you have WhatsApp on Recart as part of your?
No, we do not. So for me as a consumer, I'm born and raised here in the US. How it went, at least for me, was texting, and then it went into Messenger when Facebook got popular, and then it went into Instagram. Everyone started using Instagram, and then Instagram kind of stuck. Then everyone went into Snapchat, and then now TikTok. But I would say people still message a lot on Instagram from a Facebook standpoint. Messenger was still there, and it was a big part of like the communication upbringing. But it's a lot more geared towards, I guess, like older audiences these days. It works very well with like older audiences because they never made that jump from Facebook to Instagram that I just made. They just stayed on that one platform. And yeah, WhatsApp just never, it just never came in. It's really popular in Mexico, but that's it. Canada is the same as basically the US in terms of the messaging adoption. Yeah, it just hit Mexico. That's it.
Yeah. I would watch out for WhatsApp. If I were a tech platform or retention marketing platform, I'll definitely watch out for WhatsApp because, yeah, it's insane. Like and also one thing that really works with WhatsApp is when you're traveling, you may not have access to the same SIM, so you might not get SMSs from the brand. But WhatsApp is universal. You will have it as long as you have internet. So I feel that's something worth looking into. So would you say that what according to you is a perfect retention marketing stack? And um, I know email, SMS, but like, what do you think? How much efforts should be dedicated to each, and what are the different platforms that you should have in your retention marketing armor?
Yes. So email's king, honestly. It's very important to have that. It's the backbone of all marketing. This SMS, everything I'm saying SMS related is also saying, please keep your email. We're not trying to hijack email. It's just saying add another channel. It's very important to have multiple channels. So to your point, please also add SMS. Don't also only have SMS or don't only have email. Have both, because that's the future. I mean, you're gonna get behind. Right now is a perfect time. Just the difference between email adoption, about 40% of the top 75,000 Shopify stores have some kind of email app. Compared to SMS, it's 3%. There's a huge difference between how many people use email and how many people use SMS, and even smaller amount of people that use both. So please start using SMS. It's not going to go away. If you're in one of the areas of the world that really likes to receive SMS communication, please start using SMS. It's not going away anytime soon. Of course, pair that with your email. But one other stack I think is actually really awesome for retention marketing is apps, push notifications. There's a few companies out there that will turn your Shopify store into an app, and I love what they're doing. The fact that you can, I mean, we all use apps every day, but if you have your store there and you're sending push notifications and that banner appears on your phone on the lock screen, I mean, everyone knows what that banner looks like, and then I can click it. That's just another form of marketing. And at the end of the day, what are we doing here? Like, what's the big goal of everything? It's to get our brand and our messaging in front of other people. That's how everything starts. You're not going to get any sales if you don't get eyeballs on your brand, on your messaging.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's experiment, be curious, think of the channels. Mobile focused things are 90% open rates. And if you're not experimenting or innovating, then you're doing yourself a disservice. You're leaving money on the table. Yeah, definitely. And I think interesting you talk about push notification, because that's something that I had completely forgotten about. Yes, push notification, especially if yours is a high frequency product, which people need to purchase maybe on a more regular basis, then it absolutely makes sense to turn your website into an app and rely on push notifications. For example, off the top of my head, I could say like, restaurant deliveries or food products could really gain a lot from having push notifications, because push notifications disappear. So they're not as intrusive, but you can like send them once every day, multiple times in a day without being like too annoying. Yeah. Exactly. That's a good point. I not think about that. You can send it multiple times, because we get multiple push notifications from big apps, right, all the time. Yeah, that's a great point. So you said the adoption rate for SMS 3%. That's really, really, low compared to email at 75%. What do you think are some of the the challenges, or rather the objections to SMS brands have? Is it because they don't know how to set up, or maybe there's not enough awareness that there are platforms like, of course, Recart and a few others that help you do it all, right? Like, you really don't have to do much. There is a reason why you have invested all these resources in having a platform like Recart, so that it can be basically DIY for the brand. So tell us how much a brand needs to know about SMS to get into Recart, and how you help there. How much do you make it ready for them to use, like a platform like Recart? Yes. Yeah. So we and thank you again for that intro, because you said it perfectly again. our goal is to introduce SMS in the easiest way possible to customers. I've found that any type of tech adoption for any company seems bigger than it is. Like, okay, I have to create a loyalty program. I have to create, a strong email marketing strategy. We're working with people that are 9 out of 10 of the times founders. They haven't done e-commerce before. They're still experimenting. They don't even necessarily know what kind of messaging 100% works to their audience. We're in this amazing, growing, constantly changing space, to bring it back to what we initially talked about. So it is absolutely key to educate and lean in through education and showing people that it's really not that bad to get started. It's very easy. You just turn your one-step pop-up into a two-step pop-up. And then you put, that legal jargon and then set up a flow. But that alone creates so much confusion around people. How often are people going to start texting me? Can I just send a text right away? I mean, there's so many questions around this. And we allow it to be very seamless. So we'll do the setup for you and help you and give you some good strategies, and also give our agency partners like you guys some best practices that we have. We get best practice from you and we start working together. But ultimately, the reason why we chose this route to kind of really help with the onboarding for any customer is because if you look out there and you type in email marketing on Google, or you type in Facebook marketing, probably two of the most marketing avenues for, or SEO, it's a very popular one. I mean, you'll get tons of results and pages and searches. If you type in SMS marketing, it's pretty barren, honestly, kind of like app marketing as well, messenger marketing. I mean, a lot of these channels are still very new, and there's not a lot of agencies around them. So it's awesome that you guys do SMS marketing. You are one of the very few and great agencies to work with on the SMS side. And that has resulted in a lot of SMS programs just getting started by an app company, not by a professional, not by an inclusive program that does maybe other marketing aspects for you as well. So what we often see is there's a lot of issues with SMS when we look at other people's companies who started on just a platform, because they started it themselves and they didn't really know the best practices. They're asking for a first name and last name while also asking for their phone number. And then they're wondering why they're only getting a few SMS signups a week. Well, it's because your click-through rate is at 1%. Like it has to be at least at 8%. I mean, to start getting a healthy program. Let's A/B test your images. Something as simple as that.
Okay, so let me just look at some of my questions. Okay, I'm on.
I think we're on the last one, or?
No, couple more. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like you were saying, Nick, SMS is not really hard, especially now that you have platforms like yours who made it so simple, right? Like, from what I know, a brand just has to sign up for a platform like Recart or even say Klaviyo SMS, and you really get all the journeys right there. All you have to do is like insert your templates, your copy. But like the platform suggests you, okay, start with your welcome and your abandon. And even, from time to time, you guys send best practices for campaigns and a content calendar that this event is coming up and this is what you can send. So I think it's become so easy to, do SMS in a meaningful way that there is no reason absolutely to not do it. Plus, there are agencies, like you said, we are one of the very few agencies that actually offer SMS marketing. If you really, SMS is not rocket science, let's be honest. But then, of course, there is a method to the madness. And you want to make sure you're not overdoing it, but you're not underdoing it either. That's where agencies come in. Do you think the combination of a robust SMS platform, which is Recart, and an agency service is what really creates like the best outcome for brands that want to do SMS, or an in-house one person is enough to manage it?
Well, so it depends. So the one person, if they want to manage it, it's totally possible. The only issue is if one person is managing it, odds are they're also managing email, maybe they're managing Facebook ads, maybe someone else is doing inventory inventory, reviews, loyalty, product innovation, ship times, warehousing. I mean, let's be honest, e-commerce, there's a lot of things to do. We're just talking about the marketing side, and we can talk on and on and on. But a lot of these founders, it's tough how many things you have to do and pay attention to. So if you can allocate, some of those services towards experts, like yourselves, or on the SMS side, like with us, and you can combine those minds as well, then that's how you can even work smarter, because getting started on something and doing it is totally different from getting started on something and doing it to the fullest. And I think that's where we come in, us working together. And I've seen on our channels, it's amazing to say like, hey, this campaign is going out, but like, we noticed this message, wasn't targeted to the right people. Like maybe we can increase the ROI by resending it with this type of segmentation instead. And it works, like we're thinking outside the box. We're thinking of new, exciting images to send to the customers. And let's be honest, there's so many things to do in e-commerce, as I said before. So if you can have multiple people work together on an area, which is very important, let's not forget, SMS and email should be making up 30 to 40% of your total revenue. I mean, these are very important channels that make up a lot of your bottom line. And let's also not forget, SMS and email is an asset. You can't keep Facebook clicks, for example.
Yeah.
But when I sell my company, I have a big SMS list, I have a big email list, right? I mean, this is also building an asset in the future that is with you for life. So I think that's a cool point as well, that people don't realize. It's an asset.
Exactly.
Long-term asset.
Like I like to say that an email and a phone number is a gift that keeps on giving. With a Facebook ad, you can get the people to your website, but with an email, you can get them multiple times without an extra spend. So it's a no-brainer. Now we know we have a common client, Blendjet. Actually, I think we got introduced to Blendjet through Recart. So thank you for that. Blendjet is, of course, one of our oldest and biggest clients. Talking about other clients, what do you think? There are some of your clients that are doing right, or that you would like to share with other e-commerce stores who might be watching it? Some tips or inspiring stories from like the brands you work with?
Yeah. Let me think of a pretty good one. So one of our customers is called Pagel. Oh crap! Wait, I'm trying to remember his name. The Pagel. Well, let me get this website. We got to edit this part out. Bedrock Bakers. His email is at Pagel. That's why I got confused. Anyways, all right, I'm gonna come back in. So yeah, we have a customer, Bedrock Bakers. They're an awesome like paleo bagel. So it's like a healthy type of bagel, vegan, gluten-free, all that good stuff. Because bagels are pretty bad for you traditionally, right? The issue was they weren't getting enough sales because there wasn't enough education around the product. If you buy a product like this, you need to know all about it. Like, why am I doing this? Am I trying to make a healthy decision for myself? Do I just not know about the ingredients? I want to improve on my lifestyle. I mean, there's a lot of questions around making, first of all, a new product decision. And then second of all, a new product decision of something you're about to eat. And maybe it'll change your breakfast routine for the next week or so. Who knows? But there's a lot to think about, even though it's, quote unquote, under $20 in AOV, for example. So we wanted to create an educational sequence on that intro point. A lot of people put their information in to get a discount on that first purchase. So what we did is we created an educational sequence, really talking about all the benefits, comparing a normal bagel to one of these paleo bagels and how it makes you feel, the saving in calories and all that. And it was amazing to see the rise in sales. Education is key, and if you can educate with 90% open rates, then I think that's amazing, especially when it's about your business.
That's amazing. So yeah, I mean, do check out Recart's site for, I guess, other case studies and other examples. And I'm sure with every material that you you read about this, you come back with like that one little insight or tip to make your SMS more meaningful. We incidentally also just started like a microsite on SMS, and we have a lot of content there, like best practices, copywriting tips for SMS. So I will link it down below. All right, so I'm just gonna have the last question for Nick, and then we're gonna wrap it up. So Nick, slightly tricky question, but like I know Klaviyo is probably one of your biggest competitors when it comes to SMS. They are also pushing hard on SMS. Shopify recently invested over 100 million in Klaviyo, and I think Klaviyo plans to go big on SMS too. Do you think that is sort of concerning for smaller players if like such a behemoth like Klaviyo also gets gets the official nod from Shopify? What are your thoughts about this investment? Anything to worry about?
Yes. No, so we're very optimistic. At the end of the day, Klaviyo launched SMS in 2017. And are they the market leaders? No. What is our most common integration and use case at Recart? It's someone who has a Klaviyo email. So most people that work with us use Klaviyo, and we love Klaviyo. It's our most common integration. But unfortunately, Klaviyo it's a good SMS company, but it's not as good as we are because we solely look at SMS. Klaviyo is email first, and they kill it on email. And we encourage everyone to use their email as much as possible. It works the best with our platform. But on the SMS side, we find a lot of those things that I was saying in the call: issues with their setup, issues with their pop-up. The dedication and support is not there because people just kind of say, yeah, I love their email. Let me just slap on the SMS. Let me just check that button. And that's where a lot of the inefficiencies happen. Why isn't my SMS program running? Why isn't what's happening? Why isn't it working like Klaviyo email is working? That plus they just increased the prices 60 to 150%, depending on whether you're in the US or Canada. So no, we're not worried at all. Yeah, if anything, this is good for us because we want people to keep using Klaviyo, and we're going to keep focusing on SMS and mobile messaging. So Recart is going to continue to add Apple Business Chat, for example, WhatsApp when it has like some good US use cases. And we're going to keep going on that line. And that's our goal. Klaviyo is going to keep adding services. They're going to add reviews, and then they're going to be a one-stop e-commerce download, kind of like Yapo is doing, kind of like Attentive is doing. Yeah. So we're going to focus just on mobile messaging, and we're going to kill it there. And so far, it's working. So we're not down.
Definitely.
What
a great answer.
We're not worried.
What a great answer. Like, as our partners, we are rooting for Klaviyo, of course, for email. But yeah, when it comes to mobile retention, I know that, that specific niche and like the attention to that one product really, makes a difference. So yes, so all props to Recart, and hopefully we can continue seeing a greater integration between our brands and Recart, of course. On that note, I have to say this was a very, very, insightful and fun conversation, Nick. Thank you so much. What are your next few weeks looking like? Are you going to be in Budapest by any chance? Because we are having a company offsite retreat in Budapest in about 20 days from now. So, I think I'm going to see you there.
Yeah, I think we'll see each other. Yeah, I'll be in Budapest, and then I'm going to Oktoberfest, and then Nairobi, Kenya for 10 days.
How interesting. Yeah. So yes, we are going to be at the Budapest retreat for our company. So yeah, see you there. And yeah,
awesome.
What are your like marketing plans like for the high season? What are you doing?
Oh, we're getting ramped up. I mean, we got September 1st starts in 2 days, end of Q3. We already have our BFCM guide out, and we're going to keep pushing that. I mean, this is the busy season, so let's go. And then from a sales perspective, we got like 2 months, right?
Yes. Any e-commerce stores watching this, yes, BFCM is going to be in like a couple of months. So you want to start building your list and like cleaning up your email and your SMS tech right now, so that in time for like that, for the big season, you're all ready and you don't discover like your SMS is broken or your segments are not working
Mhm.
like on the D-Day, right? So we always say this, when it comes to Black Friday, it's never soon enough. So get
I
started.
know.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Monica, for having me. I really appreciate it. You guys are the best partners, honestly. And it's always a pleasure talking to you.
You as well. And we work on so many cool things together. So it's a pleasure
Mhm.
working with you guys. So how can prospective stores that want to work with Recart in any capacity reach out to you? Should I link it down below in the description?
Yeah, you can link in the description. You can send me an email, nick@recart.com. We're happy to offer like an extended trial for anyone listening because we're in partnerships with Hustler. So if anyone's taking advantage of like 30 days as opposed to 21 days, yeah, let me know. That's just some of the things that we got going on here. And thank you so much, Hustler. You guys are the best. And thank you, Monica. I really appreciate you.
Likewise, Nick. Thank you so much for making the time for this. And yes, we'll see you around. See you in Budapest.
Sounds good. See you around later.
See you. Thanks.
Bye-bye.